And now, after years of planning, sweating, and going broke, here is the Boots and Whiskey Podcast with Jim Belisle.
I'll alert the media.
Why they would give this man a podcast is anyone's guess.
Then there is what could only be a bizarre coincidence or something else.
Welcome to the Boots and Whiskey Podcast with Jim Belisle.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
Country music and fine moonshine. Finally, a podcast that lets it all hang out.
Let's level with America.
Got your boots? Ready for some whiskey?
These boots are made for walking.
One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
And now, the Boots and Whiskey Podcast with Jim Belisle.
Hey everyone, Jim here, Boots and Whiskey Podcast. Welcome back to another episode of the show. A couple of things to go over before we get started. First and foremost, we have Presley and Taylor here on the show today. We get to see these girls a couple of weeks ago out in Foxborough at Splitsville. Great girls, absolutely fantastic. They've been doing some cool shit over the years. Let me go back for a minute. If this is your first time here, you're in for a treat, because this isn't like your run-of-the-mill question-answer kind of podcast. We don't do that shit here. It's very organic. It's just a conversation. Now, and I say that because of what I want to say. If you have been here before, you know, right? But with this, I don't do research per se, right, for my artists, unless I know who they are or they're big going into it, right? But these girls have been doing some shit and some cool shit, to be totally frank, right? Now, we had a conversation with them that I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't expect to have. And I mean that in all of the best ways possible. We talked about, you know what? I'm not going to tell you what we talked about. You're going to just watch and listen and see. But we talked about some really cool stuff, some industry stuff, some non-industry stuff, some cool shit. So thank you for being here. Let's see, what else? What did we do this weekend? We saw Parmalee. And you know what? I'm not much for country radio. But Parmalee put on a hell of a show, like very entertaining start to finish, very high energy, even like their slow songs are high energy. It was weird. But cool group of guys. Got to meet them before the show. Thank you for that, by the way, for Six String and their crew, their tour manager, Dave. Thank you for everybody for all that. And then what did we do? Saturday night, we did Bowls, Bands, and Barrels. I always fuck it up. Bowls, Bands, and Barrels. Bowls, Bands, and Barrels? Yeah. I keep messing up. I keep calling it like Bowls, Beers. I don't even know what the hell I'm calling it. But that was also entertaining. We're going to talk about that on the flip side, though, because there's a lot of things I want to say about it before I put it in any sort of writing. I say writing. I keep telling you I'm going to do reviews, and I don't. And I'm just fucking lazy. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. This week, we have some potential of things. I don't want to say anything yet because as I'm recording this, it is snowing like a motherfucker here in New England. Where I am, we're getting like 2 feet, apparently. I don't know. But anyway, happy Monday. That's it. I think that's it. Next week's episode is our birthday episode, as we've kind of teased a little bit. We will continue to tease that all week. We will make the official announcement on Friday on who it is. And then it'll be out Monday. So enjoy your week after you listen to this episode. And we'll see you on the flip side, guys. Cheers. Enjoy.
But we did it.
So did you hit any of the snow like to the point where you had to stop?
We had quite the ride back in that snowstorm. we were out there. First, we did a show in a casino in New York, and then we went down to Massachusetts, and that's where we played Splitsville, where we saw you.
Yeah.
And the ride back was insane. It snowed the whole time.
Damn.
And then we had a little bus trouble, so we got stuck like
Things started freezing.
Yeah.
Basically.
we got stuck in a Love's in Virginia for like over 24 hours. And then praise God, like it all worked out and the technicians there helped us out so much and we got back to Nashville the next day. But yeah, it was quite the whole band and myself, we were just like, okay, we're doing it. We're in it. We're in the storm, but we're getting through it.
Damn, that's wild.
Yeah. It was wild.
And it's funny because I was like, I hate the snow. I hate it. I'm like, it's like 38 here today, and it's like a heat wave because it's been 4 for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right?
It's warming up now.
Like, I don't know. Let's see. My youngest son is 6, so like 7 years ago, I rolled a RAV4 in ice.
No.
And I've never been the same ever since.
No,
Wow.
that's terrifying.
Yeah, that's so
So
traumatic.
it's like, I'm pushing 40 and I should be a dude when it comes to driving in snow and shit. And I'm like, I can't, like,
I'm not doing it. Yeah.
I get it.
No, after an experience like that, nope.
yeah. Like, I would rather be fired from my job than drive in the snow.
I get it.
I get
That's so scary. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're okay.
Just,
Wild.
it's all mental at this point. But,
Yeah, when we were kids, that's how I learned how to drive. Like my grandpa made sure, like he literally would take me out in snowstorms and like force me to drive so I could get used to it.
It's one of those things. It's like you have to do, especially living up here.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah,
know.
especially from up there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And speaking of which, we talked about this, and this took me by total surprise. You guys are from Connecticut originally?
Yes. Yeah.
right.
We're from Connecticut.
I
Yeah.
can't imagine why you would want to get out of that state.
Shocker, right? It's actually, I appreciate it more now
Going
that we
back.
don't live there. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it was like a really good place to grow up, but we've been in Nashville for 8 years now.
Yeah.
And like this feels like home now and
Sure.
we just love it so much. But we love to visit home too.
Yeah. We grew up, we had like the rural part of Connecticut too, like very small towns. So it was like she said, it was definitely a good way to grow up. But now like I go home and I'm like, what would I be doing? Like,
Right.
what?
I don't know. Yeah.
What would I be doing here?
I also don't miss like being 16 years old and having to like shovel ice off of my car every morning and like my hands would be numb by the time I got to school. From, like, I don't miss that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So where in Connecticut are you guys from?
We're from Middlefield, Connecticut, which if for New Englanders, we're 20 minutes south of Hartford. We're like right in the middle of the state. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So along 84?
Yes.
Okay.
And you like get off 84. Exactly. Mhm.
Yeah. 84 is like for me, right? That's the way I go if like I have to get to New York for any reason. Like 84 is the way I go because it's just I hate taking 95. 95.
Everyone hates 95.
Yeah.
Everyone hates it. Avoid it at all costs.
Yeah. So when you're living here, right? We'll go back to the beginning. When you're living here, growing up in New England, like, how are you guys doing music stuff, or does that come kind of later? What's your story, more or less?
Sure, yeah. So we grew up in a very musical family. We come from basically like the biggest country music fans in Connecticut, like starting with our grandparents and our dad and our mom. They actually met like he was playing in like his rock band and she like went out to a bar one night
with our grandma. They like went out together and like met.
And that's how they met. Yeah. So we have always loved country music. We've always loved really all music. Yeah. But when I was 14 and Presley was 16, we started our band together. So we were really young and we've literally been playing in a band ever since together.
Yeah, when we were kids, it was like a lot of acoustic, like morning radio shows we would play. Yeah. We'd play up in New York and all Massachusetts and
all the county fairs.
And a lot of that stuff, like all over New England. Which it was great because I mean, like when you're so young, you really have no idea what you're doing and you're just trying to figure it out and get better. And I think it was cool that we got to like figure things out a little bit outside of Nashville, so that by the time we got down here, it was like, all right, we have a little bit of a footing of where we are. And then now the last 8 years is just like being immersed in Music City, and just this community has been honestly the coolest thing.
I definitely feel like Nashville shapes you as an artist, as a writer, as a performer in so many ways. So, but we definitely started at home and then moved here.
Now, has the style always been the same? Like from the show I saw a couple weeks ago to like before that, like when you were coming up, is it similar to what you've always done?
No.
Oh, it's definitely evolved.
It's evolved
greatly. Yeah.
I think that's been one of the things that like her and I starting so young that I've always been really proud of with us, is that we're constantly growing and changing and finding out who we are. And I think that took a really long time. I think sometimes it takes longer when you start doing something so young, because when you're younger, you're very easily influenced and you don't really know who you are yet and you're trying to figure it out. And I think when we started, it was like we listened to a lot of voices around us, which were super helpful at the time, but it also didn't allow us to spread our wings into figuring out our sound and our show,
I would say in the last 5 years, Presley and I have been able to really say, wait a second, who are we as artists? Who are we as performers? What's the music the two of us love that we can bring to an audience and like really connect with them? And that's just been like evolving over the last 5 years, and it's been such a gift and so much fun and like so cool, but a lot different from what you would see from like teenage us.
Teenage us was like very traditional country music, which is so funny, and we loved it. I mean, at the time we were like, this is who we are, and it's like, no, it's not. You're from Connecticut, like don't sing traditional country music. Like
we were just listening to everyone around us, which is fine.
But I mean, now I think our music and you saw our live show, and granted, like it was a pretty small room, and we have a lot of energy on stage. I think especially like as a female act too, like there's different types of female acts, and I think our show is like who we are. Like there's just a lot of energy. We're kind of balls to the walls with what we're doing, and I think in all this new music, this new stuff that we're putting out is like the most authentic we've ever been in who we are. And I'm 2 years away from 30. Like I'm really like, I think we've really gathered a lot in who we are and where we're going and who we want to be and how we want to express ourselves. And I think that is just, it's exciting. It's like an exciting time. I think our music is really, really come to a place that we're insanely proud of and excited to share, with people. So it's cool.
It's one of those things where it's like, I have seen, I was just going through some tax stuff for the last year, and we went to like 56 or 60 shows last year where it was like, so that breaks down to at least once a week, right? And it's not very often that we go to shows not knowing what to expect, right? If that makes sense. But I gotta say this, and I'm not just saying this because you're here, because if I've said this to other people, where if I would have walked into Splitsville that night and saw you guys, like I would have stayed captivated. And like I thought you held the room very well for
Thank you.
what it was. You know what I mean?
Thank
you.
I
don't mean that negatively either. Like, you guys have such a stage presence and know how to really adjust to whatever your plan was or is, or if that was the plan. Like you guys adjusted to the crowd better than I've ever seen a lot of acts do it.
That's so cool.
Wow,
Thank
that's
you.
very cool to hear. Thank you for saying that.
That's really cool. Yeah, it's funny. Music is such a funny thing because you love it so much and you work so hard at it, and then like you get into a room sometimes and there's 10 people there, and you just gotta like you said, really like read the room, adjust, try to connect with people. And I think that's what it's all about, is just trying to connect and make people feel something, while you're there. And that's, I think, what we're all trying to do with our music, in our live show. So thank you for saying that.
When I talked to you guys during this intermission or whatever, right? And we had to go over and see that other act. Like I got there and then instantly kicked myself in the ass for going and leaving what you guys were doing because
No. Oh my gosh.
I mean,
no.
it is what it is, you know. Like
Yeah.
we're a little too honest here, you know. But like,
Oh, that's
We
cool to
appreciate
hear.
the honesty.
Yeah, thank you for the
Because you
compliment.
never know. And it's so funny. I actually was having this conversation with my husband, but it's like, it's hard. Like there's like a certain level of confidence that you have, but then at the level that we're at and where we know we want to be and where we want to go, it's hard not to like sometimes be like, oh, are we doing the right thing? Are we
Right.
doing good enough? Is this like, you know? And so it's nice to hear something like that. So we appreciate it.
you know, and even forget like my side of it, right? But like as a unit, as a duet, you know, or a duo, and being siblings, like how often does the conversation come up of like, you know, when it comes to the business side of this, where how hard is it or how hard is it not to do this with siblings in this industry and trying to navigate everything?
Great question.
Yeah, that is a great question. I can only speak from like our personal experience. I would imagine for other people it would be quite difficult. But because of who we are, I really think her and I are so aligned as people and as individuals even, that like we were just made to do this together and
Yeah.
it all really like falls into place perfectly. Her and I have always been aligned on our vision for our dream together, on how we like operate our business, on how we put our show together, what our projects sound like and where it's going. Like her and I have always been so open and aligned creatively. And then like, I don't know, just being as close as we are as sisters and as really best friends our whole lives, like it just works perfectly, and I think God just planned it that way.
I think it's a total gift too.
Yeah.
In the space that we're in, because I think the music industry has a lot going on, and it's very easy to get discouraged. I look at other people, even when we're out on the road. We say this all the time. We get ready together, like for shows. We're literally in the bus, like doing our makeup together and talking. And I'm like, I could not imagine like having to be out here alone.
Yeah.
Like, and sitting here doing my makeup and like having to go, like, thank God we have each other.
Yeah.
And like we can sit back there and like have fun.
Yeah. I think we also really keep each other grounded and like humble, where it's, you know, I'm not going to like turn into like a different person than I've been since I was a child because she knows me.
Well, yeah,
since
like
I
I know
was
who
little.
she is.
So,
Yeah, I'll be like, what are you doing?
right. So it keeps us like extremely grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You'll call each other out real quick.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah. Real quick.
It happens all the time.
Now you're talking about, you know, having each other out there on the road. Like the band that I saw, right? Is that your band, or are those like hired guns for the stretch you were on? Like, how does that work for you guys?
Yeah, we have been very, very, very blessed in this department, like more so than I think is normal for this town.
We, it used to be more of kind of a revolving door scenario. And I would say over the last, I mean, our drummer has been with us for 7 years.
He's coming up on
8 years.
So that drummer you saw has been with us every show.
Literally, like I think he's only ever subbed like 2 shows in our time together, which to be honest like is such a blessing, but like it's not normal. I don't think it's the norm. And
at the level that we're at, I don't think
at the
it's
level
normal.
that we're at.
Yeah.
And then also too, our guitar player Rob, like the last 3 almost 4 years, same scenario. We've just been so blessed with these guys that have been like that really believe in us and are really like sticking with us at this level in our career.
Our bass player's been with us for the last 2 years now.
He was like the last edition where we're like, oh my God, I don't have to call 10 people to get the show covered.
Yeah.
Praise God. Like he was the last one that like came in, and we're just like, yeah, we're doing this together. And I'm like in awe of their loyalty, and it really like fuels us as artists to know that those guys like believe in us enough to like wait for greater things, but like give us their all now. It's like, it's really humbling and amazing, and it's not the norm, but it's incredible, and we're appreciative of it with those guys.
It gives us a good like sense of closeness and like tightness with them of like we want to succeed. I think it just has for us given us just a greater purpose in the sense of like our success is so important because other people rely on it, people that we really love and care about. So it just makes us drive even harder, you know. It really makes us want to succeed even more.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you have to have a backing unit like that to, you know, really be successful. You know, and you guys have been pretty successful, I would say.
Yeah.
So with that success, right? Or, you know, that coming up or coming through everything and coming through the way you have, like, what are some things that have happened for you guys that has brought you to where you are now? I mean, yeah, the songs are great and all that, and that's all, but that's only one piece of the pie, right? Like in reality, you know, the songs will only get you so far, right? So what are the other things that have helped get you to where you are now?
Yeah, that's a great question. I feel like as artists, again, especially at our level where you're doing a lot of things independently, you are constantly trying to put all of the pieces into play. And there are moments that happen where that give you that little extra push. And I feel like for us, in 2020, when the TikTok algorithm was super open and everyone was at home watching live music from their screens and not necessarily going to concerts for years, we had a lot of success by just like posting covers online. I feel like that was a huge like propeller, whatever, for us online, and just like being able to reach more people, and in turn like hope that they liked what we were doing with songs that they love enough to check out our own music. Another one that I can think of was a few years back, I would say about four years now. A producer that we had been working with really believed in us, and he started a label and signed us to it as their flagship artist. And our first single on that label, you know, we got the infamous like John Marks meeting and got added to New Boots and like all those big playlists. So when things like that happen, it's like it's like a big exhale of like, wow, this is gonna go farther than like I can get it myself, or ourselves. But I think the biggest differentiator of success for Presley and I have been like remaining in the grind and like remaining consistent and constant, like no matter what is going on, so that when those moments do happen, it goes maybe a little further than it would for anyone that like isn't being extremely consistent and remaining in the job, you know, all the time, every day. So
I think with music, a lot of times like playing the long game is kind of, in my opinion, and I think where we are, sorry, the wind is like blowing like crazy. I think playing the long game is really important, and like knowing that I think for so many years people were like, oh, like, is this you're doing music full time? Like, are you like, how long are you going to be doing it? And it's like, no, like, this is like what we were born to do. This is what we are doing every single day. And like, we're not going to go away. We're still here. And I think that says a lot to people in the industry. And I hope that as we come into like 8, 9, 10 years here, they're like, okay, you're sticking around. You're still doing it and you're getting better each year. I mean, I think that speaks volumes, and like and we can only hope that like the correct people, the people that really could move the needle forward for us, see that and are like, all right, you know, maybe we can help out here or there. So
Yeah.
You know, I love the honesty with that question, because it's like I've asked similar things to other artists, and like I don't know if it's a lack of being humble or what the case is, but it's like it's always the same response where it's like, well, I just, it's the music, it's this, it's and it's like you can't bullshit a bullshitter, right? Like I know and you know it's not just the music, because there's plenty of
Yeah.
music out there, right? That is
Yeah. So much
just as
music.
good, right?
Yeah.
Right, just as good, if not better, in a lot of those artists you don't even hear of, right?
Right.
And
True,
it's
yeah.
you have to put some integrity into the hard work, and taking the meetings and
Yeah.
networking, and it's like that is a
Yeah.
huge part of this, and it's like you can't just get somewhere on your own anymore, and like
No.
Yeah.
it
There
sucks,
are so
but
many
that's
pieces
it.
to the puzzle. Yeah, there's
Right.
so many pieces to the puzzle of being successful in this industry.
And
It's
I
not
think
just one.
like if in a perfect world, like we would write our songs, record them, and put them out, and
And they would go
everybody would
viral.
hear them, and like
Sure.
we would just be
Right.
like, "Oh, this is great."
Yeah.
But like you said, like I think it's like a realization too of you're really like you are who you are. You're gonna put the best foot forward you can musically and like creatively,
Visually,
and
yeah.
for us, like that's the best part. Like creating
Yeah.
the music and putting it out is the
The fun
best part.
yeah.
And then like other than that though, respecting that like everyone here was the most talented person in their hometown or whatever, and everyone here is equally unspecial, right? Like
Right. Yep.
everyone is so like I'm in awe of everyone's
Me
talent.
too. Yeah, it is
Even
great.
like even our band on stage, I'm just like, these guys are so good. Like I'm in awe of them, So
Right.
yeah, I think it's good to be humble and like not lose sight of that
No,
for
it
sure.
is. It is.
Yeah.
And like it's nice because it's like and I have to say this, and this is going to sound so awful, and I'm sure if this clip gets clipped somewhere, it's going to go viral. But like,
Okay.
I know, buckle up for this one, right? But it's
Seatbelt
nice
on.
to see. It's nice to see a female duo have that level of humbleness, because like I've talked to ladies on here, and like they don't want to admit that they have help. I don't know if it's a stigma or whatever, but it's like, I think there isn't enough of you in the industry, right? I really don't.
Yeah.
And, it's just like when we started this, it was a lot of female driven artists that were coming on, right? And they wanted to get out there. They wanted to tell their story. They wanted to do all these things. And now it feels like there's like a level of like hold back where it's like they don't want to not ruffle feathers, but they want to tiptoe and not like make full leaps and bounds, right?
Right.
And
Right.
I'm not saying they don't want to, but it's like they're afraid to. And
Mhm.
I feel like it's what's holding women in this genre back a little bit, because it's like you guys sound better than the dudes do. I'll just say it, right? Because all the guys sound the same, and it's all the same song over and over and over again, but it's like, it's so funny in the last 5 years how I've seen it go from the ladies wanting to tell their story and get out there to now it's, like, when I deal at PR teams for female artists, it's like, well, here's the laundry list of things you can talk about and can't talk about. And it's like, at the same time, we don't do that kind of show either, so
Right.
it's tough. It's really hard.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
It's tough, I think, and I'll say, and this is probably gonna hit me like whatever. I'm really not a feminist, but I will say, like, in this industry, it's
love it.
really hard. Like for women, like it really is so interesting because women have so much to bring to the table. We have so
We
many
do.
different things, and we are all so different, right? And I think that gets like stamped out a little bit, and they're like, oh, well, there can only be one of this. And I just think
Thank you.
that's so funny, when,
You
like you
just
said,
said
for
it.
the men, it's all the same over and over, and we can have a million, Morgan
Yep.
Wallens, that's fine. But like,
Yep.
we can only have one female like duo right now. And it's like, okay, but like this female duo is amazing at this, and this one really caters to this type of crowd.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. And it's
You know,
funny, the older you get, like, you never want to get jaded, but it is like seeing a lot of these things as you grow up in it, and like Taylor and I are, you're like, wow, like your eyes really start to open
yeah,
from being this little girl that's like, oh my God, everything's so cool and fun, and to be like, wow, this is interesting, like how this all works, you know? So,
yeah.
but
You know, and it's funny from my side of it, right? Because when within year 1 or 2 of starting this, like that's when Lainey was really starting to become Lainey Wilson, right?
yeah.
And for like 2 years there, it's like the industry really beat the consumer to death with Lainey Wilson, right? And I don't mean that with any disrespect at all, but now it feels like Lainey's 2 years are up, right? And it's like now it's Ella's turn. And
Yeah.
I love Ella. I've loved Ella for the last 4 years, right?
Yeah.
And I'm glad she's getting her moment, but it's like she's the next one we're gonna push. We're not gonna push anybody else. It's gonna be her. And it's like, dude, there's
so funny.
right.
You're
It's
right,
just
though, yeah.
one. It's one at a time. And it's honestly, I'll say it. Like, I'm not a feminist either because I don't have the right parts, but like it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit that it's one. You get in line, ladies, because it's one at a time. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You know me. I'm a New Englander. I'm gonna swear through this whole thing.
We get it. We get it.
We feel you.
We live it. No.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Right.
just
You live
funny.
it.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It's so interesting, and
Right.
I don't know. It's funny. I think the way that we look at it is like the best way to counteract that, I guess, is to like be kind and supportive of all the other girls, like in my opinion.
Yeah,
I don't know why you wouldn't be, and B, don't go away. Like keep going, like keep going, keep getting better, keep putting yourself out there,
Yeah, for sure.
It's weird because it's like early 2000s and the 90s, like it was women everywhere.
I know.
Women everywhere.
I know. Yeah.
And now it's, there's women in country music, but you have to dig for it.
Yeah. You have to want to be the listener that goes out and searches and finds, which is
Exactly.
awesome.
And they're there
people like that.
I mean, they are there.
It's a lot of our fan base,
A lot of our fan base, and when they find it, like when they find who's here in town, like doing the thing, like there really are like so many incredibly talented women who are doing this, and the limelight is definitely like it's like a spotlight on one person. But
Right.
that's okay, and I think hopefully it'll shift.
Yeah,
I
like
feel like
it'll
all
circle back
things
around.
do shift over time, but it definitely, like, I like what you're saying because I think it needs to be talked about more, and I think that it's a great point and it's true. Like it just is, unfortunately. But I think in our position, it's kind of like you only have control over so much. So we're just going to like focus on what we have control over and then let the rest of the world like work itself out and see what happens, But yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy. And I can't imagine being I honestly, and I hate to say it this way, but I can't imagine being a woman in this industry because I'm not even sure that if I was a woman doing this show, I would have the opportunities I have,
Right.
and that sucks. But it's like, it's also at the same time, it's like, I'm independent. I do all this by myself. I don't make a dime off of this. Like, what am I going to fucking do? Like, what am I going to do on TikTok and bitch and complain? Like, that's not going to get you anywhere either. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But your voice does matter.
Yeah.
Like your voice, like you're not, just speaking for yourself. Like you're definitely, it all matters, I think. But
I think your people find you too. Like the people that are meant to be moved by what you're saying or that are supposed to connect with what you are saying, like they do come around and find you. And I think we're like waiting for that moment on like a bigger scale, like I think we have it like in a certain way. And I think her and I are just like, we got to just keep going and keep being ourselves because we can only pray that like if God, like if that's his will for us, like it's going to happen in a way where like on a grand scale people are going to connect with what we're doing, so
So let me go back to The ADHD has kicked in. So let me go back a little bit. What made you decide? I mean, there's a laundry list of reasons to leave Connecticut, but what made you decide to leave and go to Nashville finally and make Nashville home?
Yeah. We had heard, I mean, like our dad, our parents were so funny. They like used to come back and forth to Nashville when like they were in their 20s and doing that. So we had like obviously had been talked about in Nashville's Music City. It's the country music capital of the world. So it was talked about in our house a lot. And we had visited when we were really young. Our parents brought us down here. And then when I graduated from high school, had no idea what I wanted to do with like college. Everyone was like, college, college. So I decided I was going to go to Belmont. I went for 3 months, hated every second of it. And I was like, I'm out. I'm coming back to Connecticut because I was all alone. My sister wasn't there.
I was still in high
She was still in high school. So I came home and I waited for her. She's 2 years younger than I am. So I ended up going to school in Connecticut. We were still doing music. We, at that point, as a family, were driving back and forth from Connecticut to Nashville about once a month. So we were coming down here a lot. And we were basically waiting for her to graduate from high school. I kind of got into the college scene in Connecticut where I was, and I started to enjoy it and make some friends. And then she came to college.
I followed her to her college.
Yes.
And I went for the first semester. And I just felt like heavily on me for whatever reason. Like I was like, we need to move now. Like I need to move right now. And to be honest, like even at that time, I don't even know if my why was like super strong. Like I didn't really know why, but I went to her and I begged her. I was like, because she was full on like
I started making
two and a half years into college, like had friends, had everything. Like I had just gotten there. I was not attached to anything. And I was like, I want to move now. Like, please come do this with me. Like, let's do it. And I begged her, and she was like, yes, like I'll go.
I was like, okay, fine.
And I was like, okay, thank God.
And so we quit school and moved to Nashville.
We quit school. We moved to Nashville. Sure enough, like funny enough now, but literally like the first month I moved there, I met my now husband. So maybe that was why God was like, go now. And we just basically like from day one of moving there,
just hit the ground
ourselves into our music career and just did everything conceivable that we could to play shows. We put bands together. We got into the songwriting community really quickly. We went to a lot of writers rounds, met other girls our age that were writers, and just tried our best to like connect with other songwriters and write with them. And we immediately started recording music. We recorded like our first 3 songs, you know, a few months after moving there. And yeah, literally just like haven't stopped since. So
that's insane. You know, like so let me ask you this. I mean, I get this is probably you know, too much information, but like how do you, like, as women in this industry being married, like how supportive are your husbands? I mean, they obviously have to be very supportive, right? But like how does that conversation come up? Like, does it come up when you're dating and like, listen, this is what I'm doing, right? Like in this heavily male driven industry, and I'm going to be gone on weekends or this, that. Like, what's that conversation like for the other women that are doing this that may feel like they're damned if they do, damned if they don't?
Yeah, that's such a good question. So I met my husband. He auditioned for our band. He's a keyboard player and he auditioned for our band. That's how we met. He is an incredible producer and songwriter, and he has been touring, playing keys for Trace Adkins for the last 8 years. So we understand each other and we understand this industry very well. We both do a lot of the same things. You know, we're not on the same path career wise, but like we cross over in a lot of areas doing the same thing. I think a lot of it, I mean, I'll just speak for like me and him. Like I've never had to worry about him touring. He's never had to worry about me touring. He knows I'm with my sister. He knows who I am. He knows the band members we're with. And it's just like never been an issue, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm answering the question.
No, it makes sense. I mean, that's your experience.
That is my experience. Yeah.
I have a little like very similar. Unlike Taylor, like I've dated people who were not in the music industry. Oh, can you hear us? Did we lose you? Can you hear us? I wonder if you're overheating a little bit. Maybe. We might have to switch. Let's see. Oh, he commented. Let's see. Oh no. I may try from. Should we switch phones maybe?
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's in the calendar.
Just message him and say, I think my phone overheated.
All right. So the last thing I heard was we were talking about your husband playing keys for Trace Adkins and knowing the ins and outs of the industry, and that was it.
Okay, yeah. So just to pick up where we left off, he and I are both in the industry, so we understand each other a lot. And yeah, we know who like each other is, so it's just never been like weird for us. We both get it.
Yeah. I think too, for me, I do have a similar experience. Like my husband's also in the music industry. We met, he played drums for us on a music video, and we all kind of we took off after that. And he plays on Broadway 4 days a week. He's downtown, got main stage residencies, 10 to 2 a.m. I think we just like know the world that we're in. And you just like, I don't know, like if you are with your person and like you know, love and respect each other, like there's just, I think everyone's kind of just on the same page. And there's conversations about stuff for sure. I think it's more about just finding someone that you can be open and honest with when stuff does like, you know, come up or there's questions. But I also think we're lucky because I think the fact that like we travel is actually a healthy thing for at least my relationship. I don't know if you feel the same way, but like, cause you can kind of get in that space of like, oh my God, we're like on top of each other. We're with each other every second. It's kind of nice to take a couple days, go to work and like come back and like you know, distance makes the heart grow fonder. I think that that's a good thing. It doesn't bother me personally, but like I've also dated guys that are not in the music industry that do not understand on any level what I'm doing. Jealousy was a huge problem. You know, who are you hanging out with? Like we're sleeping on a bus with 3 other guys. Like that can be really tough for people, you know, and I think it's just a matter of finding the person that like Taylor said, knows you, knows who you are as a person, and you know, gets to know the people that you're around. And like it really, like at the end of the day for us, it's just like we're all like family at this point. Like everyone is so like, it's such a safe place being on the road. And you know, when my husband goes out, like I know the guys he plays with, I love them. Like everybody's like kind of does their own thing, and if people are going to do the wrong thing, you can't control what other people can do.
You know, that's true. You know, and it's true, right? It's like any kind of industry where like if you're in an industry that's crazy, right? Like you have to also be with somebody that's also in that crazy industry.
It kind of helps. Like they kind of get it, you know?
Helps. It does.
But things can go wrong and go crazy in any industry. You can be sitting in an office 9 to 5 and do some bad shit. So
you know, like I not to get too into it, but like on top of a lot of things, like doing this and doing shows and all, like that never helped my marriage, and you know, was a piece of the divorce puzzle. Like, and I get that, but it's like, and even like when I started to date after that and all that, like it takes a special person to understand where you are. Like, you know, like this is a dream I have had for the last 5 years and beyond, right? Like I'm not just going to give this up because
it makes you uncomfortable. Then it's like, I don't think you're with the right person.
Exactly.
Yeah, the person that you're supposed to be with is going to understand like your calling and, you know, where you're supposed to be. And so we've been extremely blessed. I know that the Nashville dating scene, I've heard can be crazy
rough.
and tough. Yeah. We've been very, very, very blessed in that department. So
That's good.
that's why we're married. I don't think we would have been married if it was like we'd still be out there trying to figure it out. So
right. It's a crazy, crazy world, man. And it's it's and like this conversation goes back to how hard it is for you guys in this industry, because it's just a rat race. And I'll say it until I'm blue in the face, like, you guys and other females, you just don't get the respect you deserve. I really don't think you do.
well,
Thanks for saying
we
that.
appreciate it.
So now that we've gone down rabbit holes and shit, like, what does it look like music wise for you guys for the rest of the year? Tours, bringing your thing to people all over the place.
Yeah. We're so excited. We've got some like really big things in the works. We just signed with new management at the end of last year. So we like are so excited that our team is growing in such an amazing way.
And we finished an entire album last year,
Nice.
which has really like fueled our fire. We love this music. We personally like drive around in our cars and listen to it. Like, it's just like our best kept secret. And we're obsessed with it, and we cannot wait to like roll it out into the world.
Yeah.
We're 2 singles in right now. We released 2 songs off of the project. And it's a 12-song project, and we are just so excited to put this music out and see who it connects with and see how many people it connects with.
Yeah. We have a new single coming out, February
27th.
Our song Sting will be out.
Yes.
It kind of, I think this single and Out of This Dodge really emulate the sound and where we're going as artists. And I'm just really excited to get it out there and let people hear it. And then we're hitting the road. I mean, our shows, our tour calendar's already filling up. Honestly, like, I feel like the beginning of this year has like been crazy already, and it's just like rolling out faster than usual. So I think that's a really cool thing, and hopefully
we're gonna
get on
be
some tours this year.
We're going to be playing a couple of festivals this year. We're going to be at Country Stampede in June, and then another one that's to be announced, and then also some things in the works. So hopefully, some other things being announced as well.
That's awesome. Well, all right. So if you have a single coming out the 27th, we can. This sounds bad. I don't mean this disrespectfully, but we're gonna put you in that week.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
This hasn't been announced yet, and I'll text it to you. But we have maybe our second biggest guest ever the week after this comes out. So I like to have people that I care about and want to push in the mix of all that. If that makes sense, where all the eyeballs are starting to go, because we're going to start teasing the first week of March's episode in the next couple of days that we're talking here.
Cool. Awesome.
So,
Congratulations. I know, that's huge.
Really cool.
Yeah, it's one of those episodes that I've been dreaming about for the last year and a half.
Wow. That's so exciting.
And the fact that it's happening like makes me want to throw up. So
that's a good thing.
I get that. I get that.
No, it is a good thing. But like, I really, if I didn't enjoy what you guys did a few weeks ago, like, we would have just kept pushing this episode off for a while. But like, you guys are great. Like, I'm awful when it comes to song titles and songs, but like the original songs that I heard you guys play made me want to go back for more. Right?
Wow,
it wasn't, you see a lot of artists where like all the songs sound the same, or whatever, and like, you guys have your own sound, right? But it wasn't like, oh, did they just play that song? It's like you knew that it was not the same. Does that make sense? Am I explaining that right?
Makes sense.
A massive compliment.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Like, I mean, a perfect example is this, right? Like, I love the Turnpike Troubadours. Love them, right? But every Turnpike song pretty much sounds the same, right? And I don't mean that with any disrespect to Evan Stelter or anybody else.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's why I love them, because every song does something the same. I don't know.
You know what you're getting. Yeah.
Right. But like, you guys aren't like that. And like, that's a breath of fresh air. It really is.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, can you tell us when the album's going to come out, or is that?
We can't tell you.
We can give you like maybe like a time for like fall. It's gonna be fall.
It's
gonna be
sometime
fall.
this fall.
Early fall.
Yeah.
Of
We have a lot
So
of music.
we're taking our sweet ass time getting it out.
are.
Okay.
We are playing the single game. We are gonna release some singles. We're gonna drop this album, let everyone love on it, and then we have maybe a couple more exciting surprises that are gonna come after that. So
Fine.
we've got a plan. We've got a plan.
We'll just sit here and suffer. No big deal. Well, ladies, I love what you're doing. You guys keep kicking ass. Honestly, like, when the album finally does come out in the fall, we're gonna have you back if you want.
Yeah,
Or not.
absolutely. Absolutely. You've made this so enjoyable.
And you know, well, shit. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we could do something fun with it. You know, like, I don't know. We'll think about it, and you know,
brainstorm.
fucking do it up.
Yeah, I love it. We're in.
We're in.
All right, sounds good. Well, ladies, thanks again, and just keep doing what you're doing. I love it. I don't care if anybody else likes it. I love it. So
You heard it here first. Thank you.
That's right.
Thank
That's right.
you.
Love to hear
Thank
it.
You're
you.
welcome,
Thanks
ladies.
for doing this with us.
anytime, and like I said, we'll stay in touch. You know,
Yes, please do.
you know,
Let's talk soon.
I know things get busy and all that, and you know, I'm not offended if things go unresponded to. Like, I get it, right? But in the fall, if it's coming out in the fall, we'll do something. We'll do something fun.
That sounds great. That sounds
excited.
awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day, guys.
You too. See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Well, there you have it, everyone. Our conversation with Presley and Taylor. Ladies, thank you so much for being here and being so open and honest and just raw and authentic and just you. Like, it was awesome. This is what this show is about. So if you're an artist that is looking to be on a show or have been on this show or whatever, this is how it's supposed to. This is how it goes, right? So ladies, thank you so much for being here. So back to the Bulls, Barrels, Bulls, Bands, Barrels. It's on my shirt. I could just fucking look down. It was very entertaining. Very entertaining. It was fun. It was cool. I would do it again, 100%. But you know, we have seen PBR so many times now, and like, I feel like that's the level that we're used to, and it wasn't that, and that's okay, right? There's nothing wrong with that. It just wasn't that, and a part of me expected that, and I don't know why. I mean, I know why. I mean, that's what you're used to. It's the standard, right? I thought the barrel racing was the best part of the night. It really was. Ashley Cook was there. She opened the concert portion of it. John Party was the headliner. You know, I saw Party at where was I? Country Calling in Maryland last year. He puts on a fine show, right? I love John Party's music. He's one of the few artists, though, that I don't get it live, right? I prefer his music through Spotify or recordings than I do live. And again, that's not a knock to John. That's not a knock to anybody. It's just my preference, right? I mean, I would see him again, but just not somebody I'm quick to go see, right? I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but you get it. And that's really it. Birthday episode is next Monday. Like I said at the beginning, we will tease that a little more as the week goes on. But man, give it up to Presley and Taylor. What a freaking great duo there. Great sisters, great everything. You know, real honored to have them on the show here today. So that's it. Come back next week. Trust me. Keep an eye on the socials. You're not going to want to miss next week's episode. It is going to blow your socks off. So until then, guys, keep a good eye and ear on each other. Be good to each other. You know, that's what we're here for. Just be good to each other, and keep those boots on the ground and the whiskey in the glass. And we will see you next week. Cheers, guys.